Welcome to Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. For those of you who are just on the post game, thank you for being here as well. We're going to delve in a little bit more on tonight's game as well as talk a lot about Sunday's game, and then we'll deviate a little here and there on other pop culture type things. I'm kind of torn on what I was supposed to do tonight. 8:05 had said I shouldn't drink and not mess up my workout. I do have to get up in the morning tomorrow and work out. I also have a pretty busy schedule as well. But what I will do is I will do a little bit. I'll just do a little bit of Tito's. Clear alcohol on the rocks. And we can go ahead and at least make Intel happy. And then have a drink. So for those of you with the nightcap, whatever it is, post what you guys are drinking if you're drinking. I'm drinking straight vodka right now on rocks. And also to celebrate the win again. No matter what we say about the Lakers, we still love our Lakers. We still support them. We'll always support them. And tonight was a win. A win's a win. So salute to that. Oh man. So you want me to put Tony Montana, huh? There. Cool, bro. I'll make you happy. There you go. Tony Montana. How about that? Is that good? That make you happy? You're drinking water? Ooh. It's like rubbing alcohol. But anyways, so the Lakers tonight win 114. Well, I should say, what was it? Sorry, I got my scores all messed up. 123 to 118. And it was a typical February game. A game that no one wanted to be at, a game that no one wanted to watch, a game that meant really nothing to either team. Except, obviously, the Lakers win another game, but nothing more than that. So, with that, we got to start focusing on, at least as observers, on what exactly will the Lakers do to get us to start feeling safe about what they're going to do the rest of the way here. The schedule right now, as I look at it, is going to be a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet in their own building, but it's a gauntlet nonetheless. And how are they going to finally get to a point where they go in and game out and understand that there's no more room for error? There is no more room for error. There's no more room to sit LeBron. There's no more room for AD not to play 35 to 38 minutes. There's no more room for mistakes that shouldn't be happening this late in the season. That's what I'm going to be looking at. And what better way to start getting on this little run than to start with the Spurs, obviously, an 11-win team. And then, of course, you go into a team that's playoff bound, or at least play-in bound, that is now sort of kind of losing its focus. And, of course, they have a third star that doesn't seem to want to play or ever play consistently. And then you also have a star on that team that is so focused on outside noise that he just cannot focus on what he needs to do to solidify his career a little more. Durant left Golden State because he wanted to win a title when he's the man. All that rhetoric got to him so much that it changed his personality. It changed his whole life. Kevin Durant was not this mopey, sad, depressed guy until he won championships in Golden State. Why? Because he took the easy way out. What he should have done was he should have stayed in Oklahoma City and told Presti, you need to trade Russell Westbrook or I'm leaving. But he didn't do that. He took the easy way out with the Golden State, won championships, won MVPs in the finals. But the thing is, you had 3 Hall of Famers on that team in their prime already. Of course it was going to be easy. So now we get a diluted Durant who's still mentally weak, who's still mentally disturbed in terms of focus on what matters? You need to take advantage of this, Mr. Darvin Ham and the LA Lakers and Mr. LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You got to go into Phoenix on Sunday and you got to whoop some butt because you have the biggest crybabies playing on that team. Devin Booker. I don't forget about Devin Booker. Devin Booker is part of those crybabies, the kind of guy that got mad that people were playing defense when he was practicing in the offseason. This guy has no sack. He has no sack. He has no tough leather hard sack. It's very, very, very loose. It's very easily influenced. So when your opponent is weak, you take advantage of their weakness. Now the Lakers might not be the whining Booker and the whining Durant to that extent. They are somewhat kind of soft. I'd like them to start getting out of that mode and really start focusing on winning. Hang what? The Nets should have been official with it? They would have been, Frank. Problem is Kyrie destroyed that. With the politics, with his I don't know what the deal with him was, but it was like every other day it was some kind of comment on Twitter. It was liking something on Amazon, all this stuff that all these Yahoo morons pay attention to. It was really Kyrie Irving that cost the Nets that run. And of course, Durant's big toe. If Durant's big toe isn't on that line, the Nets beat Milwaukee and might have won the championship in 2021. Pretty crazy how the game of inches, man. It's a game of inches. And then in 2019, you had a really, really formidable Sixers team that lost on a four-dinger by Kawhi Leonard in Game 7. If that basket doesn't go through and if the Sixers win that series, you could be looking at the Sixers winning a championship against Golden State in 2019. I think Kyrie said he would have resigned if the Nets didn't include incentives. He's a New York guy, which was very surprising on how all that kind of came about. What you would have saw in Brooklyn is probably what you're seeing in LA right now with the Clippers. You got that three-star lineup. Probably would have worked out that way in the East, and the East would have been a little easier because it's not as competitive on that end. So they would have had a chance if they had just stuck around and Harden wasn't injured. If Harden was injured that first year he got traded there. So I would say if they had just hung on a little bit more, they might have had a chance to play together. But maybe Harden didn't want to play with Kyrie after a while. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know what happened. These guys are all selfish basketball players, so anything's possible at that point. They all want to get theirs. Doesn't matter how much they say, "Oh, I want to play with this guy. I want to play with that guy." They still want to get theirs. And you probably have two of the most selfish NBA players in the history of the league in James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Justifiable through social stuff, justifiable through whatever's going on. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're just basketball players. They don't move the needle. They're not creating laws. They're not doing things like that make our lives better. They're just there for entertainment. Yet they have this delusion about themselves that they're more important than they really are in the grand scheme of things. Kyrie and Dallas is looking dangerous with extra bigs they picked. Yeah, I could see that. I could see Dallas making a run here. I just don't know if they have enough to make some noise. I don't know if you saw my comment I gave Gerald, but I think Ham saw an alien sort of. Yeah, cool, bro. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I still got to watch Obi-Wan, the show. I guess there's some memorable moments with Anakin and Darth Vader, but everything else on that show apparently stunk. So I'm trying to brace myself and trying to and knowing that this show is going to stink. Yet there's certain scenes in it that are memorable. No way Iron Man would kick his butt. Iron Man 1, 2008. My favorite Marvel movie. Now, I'm not saying that the other ones were bad. Obviously, they weren't. but that was my favorite Marvel movie. I just felt like it was as iconic and as raw and perfect as it could have been. A movie in general, even if it wasn't a Marvel movie, that movie was absolutely Robert Downey Jr. absolutely killed it. Robert Downey Jr. in 2008 would have owned that year if it hadn't been for the death of Heath Ledger. He owned it that year. That was the year Tropic Thunder came out, and obviously Iron Man. That was an epic return from where he was before then. For those of you who didn't know, Robert Downey Jr. had suffered from substance abuse issues. He was getting arrested in alleys. He was messed up for a good almost 20 years. And the fact that he was able to get to a point where he cleaned up, because usually that doesn't happen, especially in that business. And not only clean up at the right time, he was doing little movies here and there that were good during that decade, but it was at that year that he really truly came back. And man, did he come back. Best Marvel movie in my book, and of course, one of the greatest comedies that ever was made, which is Tropic Thunder. Cool, bro. If you haven't seen Tropic Thunder, I highly recommend you watch it. Are you talking about, Darren, are you talking about the lines from Tropic Thunder or Iron Man? Iron Man was a little rogue production too, by the way. There was a lot of improv there. Because Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. That's kind of who he is. It's just that they gave him this Elon Musk type, aura before Elon Musk was really, really as popular as he is now. And that's what they got. They got the perfect combination. I was just watching that, Darren, Weird Science. My favorite character in that movie is, as good as Robert Downey Jr. was, and Anthony Michael Hall, and of course the amazing Kelly LeBrock. Kelly LeBrock, when you talk about the 10 scale, from 1 to 10, she was a 12 at that time. I mean, she was absolutely phenomenal and a really good actor. If she wasn't so gorgeous, she could have made like next level movies and probably done well. It's unfortunate she never got a chance to do that. But my favorite character, and I miss him every day. I never met him, unfortunately, but man, do I miss him. And his passing was as devastating to me as John Candy's passing was, and that was Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton as Chet. My God, what a performance. And it's not the only one. But God, that character was freaking hilarious. He was in the movie for 5 minutes and absolutely took over for me. And he's done that. He's done that in True Lies. He's done that in Aliens. He's done that in so many films. It's just, it's heartbreaking that a man at 52 had to pass away. It's almost 10 years ago, I think. It might have been 10 years ago. And we lose probably another 20, 25 years of probably great material that he could have created. He was really good in Westerns too. Hatfield and McCoy, he kind of played a crazy man in that limited series. And of course, my favorite Western, Tombstone, he played Morgan in that movie and did a really good job playing like a straight-laced guy. He was just versatile. He was great. I miss him greatly. True Lies was classic. The Aliens, what a beautiful whiner. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw Aliens, it just happened to be the scene where he's whining and then Sigourney Weaver kind of calms him down and kind of gets him to kind of focus on what they needed to do. And then that was, geez, I watched Aliens after that probably 20 times. I used to have the black box growing up, so we were able to watch HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime. That was the 3 premium channels. Showtime, HBO, and Cinemax. That's it. Movie Channel came a little bit after that. They were like the Fox to the CBS, ABC, and NBC to those 3. But at the beginning, it was 3 premium channels, HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime. And they would have that movie on a loop. And I just watched it. It's a great movie. It's my favorite Aliens movie. And I actually like number 3. It's not as good as the second, aliens, but number 3 is criminally underrated. And I don't usually say underrated a lot for things because people usually overuse that word, but it's a really good film. Number 4, the first Alien, obviously a classic, but I didn't see that one first. I kind of got caught up, kind of like in Caddyshack. I watched Caddyshack 2 first and loved Jackie Mason and loved Randy Quaid in that movie. But of course, the first Caddyshack is always going to be better than the second one with Rodney Dangerfield and Ted Knight and just the story in general. So going back to basketball, the Lakers go to Phoenix on Sunday, and then they got to play the Clippers after that. So they gotta get the teams that are not playing well. Phoenix is not playing well. You got to take this. Whether they win against the Clippers or not, I guess if it's a close game and they lose, you can say, all right, well, what can you do? Clippers are better than the Lakers. You can kind of buy into that. But if we find out that LeBron is sitting that game or anything like that, at that point, it's no mercy on the Lakers. It's going to be a ratchet job and major rants that night. But I don't think he's obviously going to miss the games. He's going to play those games at this point. He knows what's at stake. Looking at the schedule right now, there's really not a lot of areas where he would not play unless it's the Wizards game. So if you're looking at the schedule, for those of you who don't have a schedule, I'll read the teams again that the Lakers are going to be playing here in the next week or so. So they play Phoenix on Sunday. They're playing the Clippers on Wednesday. They're going to have 2 days off before they play the Clippers as a Clipper home game, which is, they're still at home, but it's a Clipper home game. Then after that, it's the front end of a back-to-back against Washington. You got to win that game. So then after that, they're going to have a day off, March 2nd, Saturday. That's when that gauntlet starts. It's going to be Denver. It's going to be Oklahoma City, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Minnesota. And then, every team there is either solidified in the playoffs or at least is almost solidified, and that would be Sacramento. Are we happy if they win 3 out of 3 there? I haven't really asked that question yet. I don't really know if coming out 500 in that situation would be good. 4-2 maybe, would that work? 5-1, can they come out 5-1 and make up some ground? You're right, Darren. The Clippers will be a better test. Will be a good test. But like we were saying before, are they going to lose focus when they win these games? We're going to find out here this week. We're going to find out here the next week where this team really is, and can they stay focused until the end? Can they somehow battle enough to at least get to a 7? I don't think they're going to get to a 6 and a 5 based off how Dallas is playing right now. Dallas is on a 7-game winning streak. New Orleans, young, playing well. They're the 5th seed. So can you get to 7? If you get to 7, that means all you got to do is win 1 game and you solidify the 7th spot. If you don't win that game, you automatically get the 8th seed. And that's kind of how that plays out. Again, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Anyone having a drink tonight? Or am I the only one drinking? Where's Intel, man? I thought he was going to be here. No, I'm not. Bud Light's not my drink, but Bud Light, that's funny. It's like a curse word these days, Bud Light. Water? Still drinking water? Well, cool, bro. You can't drink, man. You're 15 years old. You don't want to destroy your body at 15. I know a lot of guys that were drinking at 15, but they were not really drinking. They were just going to a party and trying to hook up with girls and stuff like that. Water is the best. Water is the best. If you can get out of that mode of alcohol and sodas and all that and really just drink water, you'll obviously better yourself, but you'll live a pretty boring life, though. Water's pretty boring. As long as it's not tap water. Tap water, I've been reading a lot about tap water, man. It's not good. Tap water these days, It's not like it used to be, man. It's not like when you would play basketball for 3 hours and then go find a hose and drink it. Those days are gone. You drink that water now and you'll die right there. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Yeah, Coke is the thing with soda for me is it's impossible for me to have a pizza or a sandwich without soda. If you don't have soda with those two things, it doesn't taste right. So the best way to avoid drinking soda for me is to not eat pizza and not eat sandwiches. And I'm not necessarily addicted to anything, so I don't go into any kind of withdrawal and oh, I need a pizza, oh, I need a sandwich. No, I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the puff ones, love them. But I stopped eating them for about 2 weeks, and I don't even think about them after that. I revert back to them down the road, but it's not anything that I couldn't do. I went a whole year not eating ice cream, and that was because I was in college. I had this small fridge in my dorm room at the fraternity house, and you don't think about, oh, I'm gonna go get a bucket of ice cream and put it in this small little freezer. You don't think about that. I think I had like a jar of jalapenos and water in there. I never really ate there. I'd eat salads at work, and then when we went out, I'd eat whatever I ate, and then I'd never really eat dessert. So yeah, you can what you don't see, you don't think about. That's the important part. It did get hard once you have kids and you have a family, because that's the kids want snacks and things like that and cereals. But man, there was a time there when I was in college. It just wasn't something I thought about once I was by myself. I was on my own for the first time. I took care of all my own stuff, and I didn't go to grocery shop. I didn't go grocery shopping to go buy those stuff, so I didn't really need it. You didn't like the caffeine, Jay? Was it the caffeine? Because they're just as bad. Sprite is just as bad as Coke in terms of the soda aspect. Toys, yeah, toys. LOL. It's the Nightcap. Joe, you exited to see Elvis Butler fight. No, I didn't see the fight, folks. I don't have time. I didn't have time. We had playback started at 7, sort of, but I was there at 7:30. Then we watched the game and played the game, and I was taking phone calls every now and then, getting off the feed. Then after that, immediately to post game, and then immediately after that, I went to go get my drink to start up Nightcap. You're not gonna go see Dune, or are you asking me if I'm gonna go see Dune? I haven't seen the first one yet. I have to see the first one. Until I see the first one, probably not gonna see the second one, and I don't know if I'm gonna be doing it in the theater. Once you stop drinking the same drink, you'll no longer be addicted. Some people have addictive personalities. I can say I probably had one. Let's say when I was playing video games years ago, Resident Evil. I remember it was the PlayStation 1, Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. That game was phenomenal at that time. I was totally immersed in it. And then as soon as I passed that game, I wanted to know more about Resident Evil, and I ended up going and buying number 2 and number 1, and you start getting into this fantasy world of trying to understand and gear up for the story. And then one day I'm sitting, I'm like, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing with my life? Worrying about this story about a video game. And I quickly said, no. Hey, look, I enjoyed the games. I'll keep playing them, but I'm not going to get addicted to this stuff. It's not good. Yes, Toys, it's Tito's Vodka. So I was on a flight to San Francisco a few years back, and I had never drank on an airplane, ever. This was the first time. So I flew from San Diego to San Francisco with a buddy of mine. We were going to go to a Giants game for the weekend. He knew Will Clark, so we were able to sit with him in a box. He also knows Barry Bonds. And we were there for the weekend, and the Dodgers happened to be there that whole weekend, and they swept the Giants that weekend. It was a great weekend. So we were at a hotel right across the street from the stadium. We hung out with all the current Giant players. Will Clark, obviously, his family, really good people. Will Clark's a good man, good guy. And there was, my buddy's like, hey, you want to have a drink on our way there? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's up? So I look at the menu, and I see Tito's vodka and Bloody Mary mix. I said, you know what? Let me have that. Let me see what it tastes like. And I'm not a vodka guy. I would never. I'll drink it in a pinch, and it's usually Smirnoff or something like that. I hadn't drank Tito's before. So if I want to do like a Red Bull or a cranberry thing every once in a while, but I had Tito's with that mix, and I go, God dang, this is good. And I actually got a nice buzz from it. And since then, I haven't had any kind of vodka other than Tito's. I don't know, Sunday. I can drink Crown. I can drink it, probably with some kind of a mix, like a Coke. But I don't usually drink Crown, no. And none of my friends usually drink it either. There's a reason why old games are being remastered. Which, are you talking about the new Resident Evil 4? Things like that? The reason why they're doing that is because there's no content being made. There's not enough development. There's not enough good development. They're just wasting money and just wasting everybody's time. Coca-Cola and mints. Like Mentos? Oh, got my hiccups here from the drink. My God. Woo. Feeling the burn. It's a deep burn. Deep burn, kind of like the game tonight, watching it. It was a slow burn, actually. Yeah, that's I don't think it's a probably anymore, honestly. I believe that's what it is. I think it's a team effort that this is being put together. At this point, I'm assuming, let's just assume, right? Because they don't have total proof, that his agency, Clutch, are telling Rob to do this, and Rob is telling Darwin to do that, and this is the production. So still, after all these years, and the question was, and I asked this question a few months ago, what is he extending his career for? So he gets hurt. Dude, you've been in the league 21 years. So what? Try to go after it. Try to put all your might in and game out, and go do it. Or what is he trying to do? Does he really want to play 25 years? What does he want to do? Earn another $1 billion? Is that really what it's about? Then you're really not about basketball. You're about LeBron James like you always have been. And with that, you will never be in the first spot. Ever. Ever. You're not in the first spot anyways. I don't care what anyone says. But you're not going to help yourself get there. You're still a viable player. You still have all-star capability. You have a guy that's playing great ball next to you. And, I mean, come on. At what point is LeBron going to say, F it, I'm going to go after it. If I fail, I fail. If not, what? Or is it just these guys? I don't know. I don't relate to passive-aggressive types. What do you think, Gerald? Is this just kind of who he is and it doesn't matter? He's not going to change now, right?
No, he's not going to change. He's almost 40 years old. He's not going to change. He's going to do things that's going to make you scratch your head all the time. Passive aggressive BS, all the stuff. I appreciate LeBron. I think he's one of the greatest players I've ever seen. If you were to create a player, what is the ultimate player that you could create? I've always said it is the diametrics. That is LeBron James. Absolutely incredible as a basketball player, but it is so aggravating at times to be a supporter and a fan of LeBron James because he is just so frustrating with all the backhanded stuff, with all the, that's just the perplexing decisions that he makes, sometimes on the court, sometimes off the court. And the fact is, you look at the schedule, Joe, and you see the games that he could have played and the games that he could have taken off, and it just makes you scratch your head. Do you really want this team to go a long ways this season? And by the way, I want to go ahead and mention to Cool Bro, JSJ, Cool Bro was looking for you. So please make sure you leave your GPS location with me on our email, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, every single time, so that Cool Bro knows exactly where you're at. I just want to make sure to let you know. Yes.
It's
just kidding.
what's crazy about this scenario is I don't remember ever talking about any elite player on the Lakers like this. It's always a discussion about the bad with him. It seems very little small, like very little positive. And I don't know if we're ever going to see. We're ever going to be there. I don't. I've seen all the guys that are relevant in the top 5. I should say top 3. I've seen them all play in their prime. I've seen them and I remember them, and it's vivid. And I'm still going to hold on to that list. So you want the top 5 best players that I seen Sunday, or do you want the 5 best position of all time? Because that's important. That's important.
Appreciate it, Sheed. Thank you, Sheed.
Thanks, Sheed. I'm going to answer Sunday's question first. So I'm going to give you guys 2 top 5 lineups in my book. Top 5, Kareem, Larry Bird, Magic, Jordan. Who do you think the 5th one is? By position.
By position?
Magic, Jordan, Bird, Kareem. Who's the power forward? Who's the greatest power forward of all time?
Are you going to say Tim Duncan or Karl Malone?
Who do you think was a better player?
I know I get a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to say Karl Malone.
Okay, you'll say Karl Malone, but I'll say Tim Duncan. That's your top 5 all time. It's easy for me to say that. I know there's other power forwards too, but 5 championships is too. It's just too much.
I kind of like much. Dennis. I am higher on Dennis Rodman than a whole lot of other people, so that's just me.
So by position, for Magic, point guard, Jordan at the 2, Bird at the 3. I know I'll probably get killed for that, saying that. How are you going to put Bird in front of LeBron? I'll answer that in a minute. And then Tim Duncan at power forward, and then Kareem at the center. So top 5 all time, best players of all time. Jordan, Kobe, Magic, LeBron, and Kareem. It sucks I got to leave Bill Russell and Wilt out of there, but
and Shaq.
I honestly believe if Shaq had won in 95 and in 04, he would have been the greatest. And I don't know if the argument would have been that big. Maybe only Kareem.
See, I think it's close for me. I think Wilt, Shaq, Kareem.
Wilt can't be in the top. You can't go 2 and 4. Can't go 2 and 4 being that dominant. See, the thing with Bill Russell is Bill Russell was a terrible offensive player. He was essentially the anchor on defense and the ultimate team player, which is why he was able to win. Plus, they had 4 Hall of Famers on that team at any given time while he was playing 13 years. So I'm not trying to downgrade Bill Russell in terms of his greatness. It's just I'm looking at this from a total package standpoint.
No, I get it.
If Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was on that Celtic team in the 50s and 60s, they probably would have won 13 in a row. Maybe even if Wilt had been on that Celtics team with his ability to play, maybe would have won that much. But then you can't really say that either because his mental game wasn't good. That's why he wasn't able to win a lot of those big games. His focus, his mental game. He's the LeBron of centers in a lot of ways. He's this physical freak who could do anything, but there was a missing ticker in his head that didn't allow him to get that extra win when it mattered. 2 championships, in 14 years, being as dominant as he was in an era where you only had 7, 8, 9 teams, he should have won more. He should have won more. If Wilt had gone 6-0, if he had gone 6-0 in the 6 finals appearances he was in, I don't know if there would be an argument on who's the best ever. He'd be the Babe Ruth of basketball. Very, very possible.
It's a good list, Joe.
Yeah. So Shane Black, his sons, I'm hearing he wants to play with his baby boy now, but the baby is a better player than his
Bryce.
older brother. Give me Jacoby Sheed, KG Duncan. I'm an old school power forward type of guy. Yeah.
I had said this a while back, and you kind of poo-pooed and dismissed me on that, but I think he is waiting to play with Bryce.
The reason why I did what I did was because I don't care. This is not a celebrity freaking league. If you want to go play patty cake with your kids, get off this team.
I don't think he'll be with the team. I don't think.
I think it's an embarrassment that you have 2 players that are not NBA level players. They're not going to be NBA level players, and they're going to get drafted by an NBA professional team for what? For a reality show? This isn't reality shows. You want to go play with your kids? Go now. Get out of here. You're not focused on being the best. You're not. You say you are. You're not, though. Your actions say different. You need to win championships to have the top spot. And even if you win them, he plays 25 years and he wins 5 championships. Is it the same? Is it the same? You're talking about 20 years of losing, right? At the top of your game, you're losing 20 times. You can't be the best if you're thinking about dancing with people who don't belong in this league. Your focus is on your family. Your focus is on doing the touchy things. You're not focused on winning an NBA championship. You want to be the best just because you think you're the best. How fitting of a generation. People want to believe and feel that they are something. You're not, folks. If you're an a-hole, you're an a-hole. Just because you think you're not doesn't mean you're not. Am I wrong?
No, not saying you're wrong, but again, I think Bryce. I agree with Sheed. I know Stone is really down on Bryce, but I think he does have more potential, especially after.
Why? Because he's tall.
No, just is more. I think more physically and athletically capable. And the video that I've seen between him and his brother, I'm just telling you my opinion. I didn't say they're both outstanding.
This is a discussion.
I wouldn't call them top draft picks in any. I don't even think that right now Bronny is a credible draft choice.
It's sad that we have to criticize children to make our point. Children that were thrown into this because of their father's selfishness, because their father is delusional. He's delusional in that he wants to play with his kids who are not going to be able to do what he wants them to do, and that we have to hear it. That's the problem. If this was private, fine. But I as public as it is, it's all about this freaking guy. It's all about LeBron James and doing something like this.
That's what he wants.
I don't care if he wants it. We're here to win championships. I don't care. I don't care about players who can't play in the NBA. They can't play in the NBA. They're not good enough. Why is this a discussion over and over again? This is not Desperate Housewives of LeBron James. This is professional sports. What is it with you guys and this soft garbage? Seriously, it's nauseating. I'm here trying to relax and have a normal show, and I gotta still hear this shit.
I didn't mean to get you upset.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. He can't play. They can't play. You're paying this guy $51 million to do what? To sit out games, to talk about things that don't matter in the realm of basketball. That's what we've turned into. Everything is Taylor Swift. We got to hear about that kind of stuff. It's over. It's over at this point. I'm going to have to take the volume up louder and louder until maybe somebody hears it. It doesn't matter if they don't care. It doesn't matter if I don't reach everyone. Maybe it will resonate in some way the longer we're here. But this is stupid. This is seriously stupid. If you want to go play with your kid, you want to go do that shit, leave. Leave this summer and let this team. You want to be a respectable person. You want to be a non-narcissistic type. You want to go do your thing with whatever the hell this is. Kindly go to Jeannie and say, Jeannie, I'm opting out. I'm going to go force my kid to declare for the draft, and some rinky-dink NBA team that just wants to get pub will draft him or whatever the hell they do, pick him up as a free agent, and then LeBron James apparently is going to go play for the minimum and go play, right? Is that what's going to happen?
Maybe that will be the case.
You really believe that, Sheed? You really believe he's the most powerful player in the NBA? How are you powerful when people don't even like you? Every great player was loved. Now, Kobe, after the Colorado thing, there was issues there. But you look at Shaq, you look at Nash, you look at Kobe, you look at Duncan, you look at Jordan, you look at...
Duncan may have not been so loved.
Well, he might have been boring, but people respected Tim Duncan. They respected him. Why? He stayed at Wake Forest for 4 years. He stayed with the Spurs his entire career. He was a team player, took less money. He did all the things that most people who look at professional athletes in a certain way, they saying, man, this guy did everything to try to win. Dirk Nowitzki is another one. But LeBron James continues to be this selfish, self-absorbed ass. He does good things, and then he overrides it with so many bad things. It's tiring. We're burnt out from it. Everywhere he's gone, he's burnt out his welcome. And it's because of stuff like this. Hourglass tweets, sitting out, a lame coach, not a lame duck coach, but a lame coach who enables it. You know, Coach Blatt, right? He was probably one of those guys that didn't put up with it. He's like, dude, I'm a coach. I'm not going to put up with this crap.
They were leading the Eastern Conference. I think they had won their last 5-7 games or something like that.
Yeah. I remember Stan Van Gundy was upset when they were interviewing him that day when he found out.
I was thinking to myself, there is no safe record for coaches.
Because it has nothing to do with it. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the win. It's about that freaking guy. It's about how he feels. He tried to fire Spoelstra, but the Godfather said, no, I'm not doing that. The Lakers were hated because the Lakers are hated. If Kobe and Shaq were on any other team, they probably wouldn't have been hated as much.
True. That's a good point, Sheed. I did want to make sure.
She's just dropping dimes tonight, huh?
Yeah, Sheed, much appreciated. Thank you very much for your kind generosity as far as the super chats are concerned. A couple things before we head on out, Joe. You are supposed to pick a movie on Netflix for cool bro to watch before he goes to bed?
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. Okay. And next, here's the eye-popping stat of the day. During our playback, we got 5,600 views, just to let you know, on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, 600 on the post game, 700 on the pregame. Yes, and 5,000 plus on the playback.
And
watching the top of your head.
what was the previous numbers on Facebook through playback?
The previous playback game was 400 for the Warriors game.
So what went viral? You can't be my top of my head.
I don't know how. It's just somebody shared it. I don't know how they shared it or how it got to the right person. But yeah, just do the same thing every time. It goes to the same outlets every time. Somehow it picked up steam and a whole bunch
sometimes of the viral thing can be very, very surprising. So that's good that it was.
It's predominantly in the Philippines. Just let you know.
Okay.
Great big shout out to the Philippines.
Well, we're big in the Philippines.
Yes,
it is a Laker nation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this wasn't supposed to be a LeBron hit piece, but at some point, this constant ebb and flow or peak and valley with this team just gets burnt out. I get burnt out from it. No consistency, no focus on everything. There's nothing else to say but to say it.
And Australia, you're right, my friend. Absolutely, Australia. You guys got the WWE down there. Actually, it's going to start up here any minute.
So what's the deal with what is going to happen to the WWE in the end?
Nothing. They're going to big.
Are they too big to ever go away?
Dude, they've been through every scandal known to man. The steroid scandal, the ring boy scandal, several sex scandals. Vince McMahon, this is not the first time he, according to allegations, has been very misappropriating with a woman as far as treatment is concerned. You got the Ashley Soro case, that ultimately led her to her suicide. All these cases, the concussions, they were sued for that. All these cases, all these issues have come up, and ultimately, depending on storyline, the WWF has had up and downs, ebbs and flows, but right now they're on a high, and people, like I said, right here in just a little bit in Australia, they're going to be where Xbox is at right now. They're going to be filling out a stadium for their Elimination Chamber. And in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, they're going to be filling up the stadium on a Saturday and Sunday in Philadelphia for WrestleMania. So obviously that tells you exactly how many people are bothered. The people that are not wrestling fans, the news, the shock jocks, whether it's right or left news organizations, they're just taking this in and trying to feed it to their base. But the actual wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans,
yeah. So all the ivory tower, glass house, mother, what's, as long as they get paid, they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
After all that, Vince McMahon has been boning himself for the last 40 years, and no one has just gone up to him and said, mother, you know what? There's no men that these women have that have found Vince and did something to him for the abuse that he's done. How does this happen? Can you explain this to me?
Just power. He just felt like
when did society become this? I don't give a damn what his power is. If I found out Vince McMahon did something to my daughter, my wife, my aunt,
go off. Yeah, I know.
I don't care how much money he has. He's finished. It's bad. Where are the men here? Where are the men protecting their women? Seriously, it's
exactly Sheen.
More important than any of this stupid stuff with basketball and the LeBron Jameses. This has been a plague that's been going on way too long. Okay, men out there, protect your women. You care about your women. You care about your mother. You care about your wives, your girlfriends, your daughters, your sisters. Your job as a man is to protect your women. Provide and protect your women. Yeah, Sounds primal, doesn't it? Does it sound primitive? All this BS about, oh, well, they live their own life. Bull crap. No, that environment is stupid. Can't have it both ways. He's a predator. Vince McMahon is a predator.
And he's been doing it for years.
And he's been doing it for years, and he's been enabled, just like that scumbag R. Kelly was because of his music, just like Epstein and all those guys, all those scumbags, Harvey Weinstein, they were enabled. Because why? Because somebody needed to get something from them. The second they couldn't, guess what? Oh, now they come out of the woodwork. Look what they're doing to Hugh Hefner's grave. Oh, Hugh and the Playboy Mansion. Oh, my God, we did this. While you see videos of them 20 years ago doing their business. Who forced you to go over there? And who were the fathers for these girls to allow them to do that? Oh, Joe, well, they're over 18. They shouldn't. They have their own life. Oh, really? Oh, you think everything stops at 18? You think not protecting your people stops at 18? Oh, now look at it. Now they're profiting, telling their stories about how they were mentally abused. Okay. All right. Can't have it both ways. But anyways,
I want to go ahead and Sheeta actually had a good question earlier. How did we feel about the fact that were we mad at no trades? I wasn't surprised.
I wasn't mad because we had nothing to get.
I actually was kind of disappointed, Sheet, because I had said an option for the Lakers was getting under the tax. They chose not to get under. So not only did they not trade for a player that could maybe increase their likelihood of getting it farther in the playoffs, they didn't save money by not trading away a Christian Wood because they were so close to the tax line. That's all they had to do was make one move and be under the tax and save Jeannie, a few million here. Plus, she would have gotten $10 to $15 million at the end of this year. Yeah. It's just those little things. Then you're out of the repeater tax. Then now in the summer, when you have three draft picks, you could go all out and you can go back into the tax once again. Just, financial understanding of things. But yeah, it is what it is.
How intriguing, Gerald.
How intriguing. But it's not our money, so.
Yeah. That's a big one, Sheet.
It's not how I would run the Lakers. And not how Joe would run the Lakers. But it's not how he runs his business. I'm sure he runs it a lot more soundly than the Lakers do.
There's really good owners out there that run the thing probably how we would run it. But the
Guggenheims get often suggested. Do you think eventually they will put in a bid or talk to Jeannie?
I don't think Jeannie will ever sell. Not after what the new list is. Did you see the new list?
No, I didn't see how far.
Lakers are worth, I think it was $7,035,000,000. They were just under. Hold on, let me.
It's under the Knicks, and are they still under Golden State?
Franchise net worth. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. 2024.
That's a little below because remember, if they went on the market now, I'd still think they can get $10 billion. Or
no. This is in terms of what they what their books say. What they would sell for is completely different. Most valuable sports empires. Okay, here we go.
On the Forbes, what does Forbes have?
Jesus Christ,
$6.4 billion.
Freaking pop-up pieces of garbage.
They say $6.4 billion, but that was last year. So
hold on, I have it here. Hold on. Most valuable. There we go.
I still think they go for 9 at least.
Okay, so obviously the Dallas Cowboys are at $9.2 billion. Golden State, geez.
Because remember, UFC went for 12. WWE sold for 9.
So Golden State is second. This is in the world.
Yeah. Over Manchester United?
Dude, the soccer leagues, there's nothing in the top 10 anymore.
Wow.
The NFL, so you have Dallas that went up to 9.2 billion. Golden State went up to 8.28 billion. The Knicks are third at 7.43. The Lakers are fourth at 7.34.
I wonder what happens when Curry retires and they become just another team.
I don't know, but geez, 7.34. The Lakers are the fourth most valuable franchise on the planet, and they are just below the Knicks. The Yankees are at 7.1. New York is at 7.04. The Rams, geez, almost 7 billion. The New England Patriots at 6.7. San Francisco 6.1, and the Jets at 6.1. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 NFL teams. Basically, from 6 to 10 is all NFL teams. You have the Yankees at 5, the Lakers at 4, the Knicks at 3, Golden State at 2, and the Cowboys 2. Cowboys at 1. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. I still think if Genie put it on the market now,
12 billion.
I'd say 10. I'd say
12.
9 to 10.
They'd get 12.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's somebody out there that I don't know, Larry Ellis. Hell, Jeff Bezos, I think would put a bid on that.
I still think that she wants her own arena. I think as soon as they get all nice and comfy in that Clippers arena, she's going to get jealous and want one of her own. She's going to ask the city to help pay for it.
But where would they go?
Or a complete retrofit of the Staples Center or Crypt. I mean, because that sucker's aging, my friend. 25 years plus now. That's old in arena terms now. You see, like the Anaheim Pond, that's old.
I don't know. Madison Square Garden has been there for how many years?
Yeah, but they've retrofitted like a whole bunch of time. It's got tradition, man. The Crypt doesn't have tradition.
Dude, the Staples had
they
were
left
the Madison Square. Staples was the Madison Square Garden of the West, and they pissed it away with this crypto garbage. And what a waste.
No, they would make the Las Vegas is going to get their own team, Deviant Flux. They've got the inside beat, them in Seattle for the next
expansion. You want to talk about?
Did you see that article on ESPN though about baseball teams, expansion teams?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay, it was on earlier this week. I was going to send it to you. I forgot, but I didn't see any really viable. But they had a list of like 10 viable cities for a Major League Baseball expansion.
Let's see, MLB expansion.
Type in ESPN. Came up earlier this week.
Okay, here we go. 3 days ago. So you have San Antonio, Austin. You have Charlotte. Jesus, God save me. Mexico City. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Montreal. Yeah, I could see that coming about. Nashville. I'd say Nashville has a good chance. Orlando. No. No more Florida teams baseball. Portland, no, not that cesspool now. No way. Raleigh, North Carolina, no. San Jose, really? With the Giants there?
Yeah, I didn't think there was
City.
There's not really many like in the NBA. There's Seattle and Vegas stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay, so looking at this. Yeah, I can see. I would pick Montreal, Nashville, and then San Antonio would be my third.
Okay.
Yeah, you have Houston.
We don't even want
Texas.
the A's, DBN.
The A's, yeah, but
get stuck with them, man.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, folks. The NFL, the NFL salary cap went up $30.6 million. You know what that comes out to, G?
It's crazy.
$255 million each team can spend on players. You know what that is times 32? $8.16 billion for just player salaries. We can sit here and complain all we want. Oh my God, why are you on Peacock? All these schmoes. Why are they on Peacock? This thing is rigged. We don't want to see Taylor Swift. Kelsey gets the jab. Blah, 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 blah. It means nothing. What you guys say and what we say about anything in the NFL means nothing. The NFL owns everyone.
123 million says otherwise, Joe.
It owns the World Cup. It owns soccer. It owns all that. I don't want to hear all 4 billion people watch the World Cup. What does the World Cup make? It's something I would like to know.
Like the last one in Qatar?
I know what Qatar spent on the facilities.
Oh, yeah.
220 billion, I heard.
Yeah. They were going to town.
Right?
Yep.
It's sad because you have how many people out there dying, and you spent 220 dying of hunger, dying of diseases, and yet you spent $220 billion so that you can play a game for 3 weeks. Where's our priorities? Sad.
And again, we don't even want it. We're in the city of Vegas, and we don't even want. We have no desire for this stadium and this A's team. We absolutely do not want it. Now, if it had been the Dodgers, we're going to be hypocritical and say, yeah, we would take them in a heartbeat.
No, I heard that same thing with the Chargers in LA. It didn't matter. Look at the value. Look at the value in 4 short years, and look at what's happened this year. So now you have Jim Harbaugh, who's going to have his franchise quarterback, and LA, and carte blanche on all the decision making.
Well, I already told you how irritating it was for me when I went to El Segundo, Joe, because they had the little tiny Lakers store. They have just the one practice facility / Lakers headquarters right there on the corner. Then you just go down the street a little bit and take a right, and all of a sudden you see this powder blue shopping center. Chargers this, Chargers that, Chargers this, Chargers that. Like they came into the neighborhood and took over, and it's just like, that's all you can do for me, Lakers? Where's the purple and gold? They're not even purple and gold, Joe. They're black buildings. That's how depressing it is.
They don't care. You need to go online and just go to Fanatics and buy everything.
Will Unsolved Mystery? No, it will not. Cool, bro. It's just a entertainment show.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Well, okay. He wants you to watch it, so yes, it will.
Yes, it will. The music will give you nightmares. That's why I want you to watch it, so you learn your lesson not to watch bad movies and TV shows. So with that, Gerald, thanks again for chiming in and pissing me off before we get off air here tonight.
I guess that's my duty in life now. So I guess I did well.
I'm finishing my vodka here.
Herbert is good. I'm not going to say differently, Sheed. It's just the fact. Okay, here's this team. Like, let's say the Clippers had come into town to Los Angeles and taken over, and more things were painted in the Clippers colors than the Lakers colors. How irritated as a Lakers fan would you be by that? So to me, it was just irritating when I went literally down the street and you make a right, and you see this shopping center in powder blue based off the Los Angeles Chargers, literally around the corner from where the Lakers are at. And it just, this nondescript Lakers building that they want to keep everything private, and then the small little Lakers store, and that's all they do. Just, it shows no Lakers pride, and it irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. The only way you're justified is if you stop supporting the team,
which we can't do.
Which you don't. Yeah, you won't. We won't. They know it. They got us by the nuts.
Thank you, Sheed. You're awesome tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheed. You were generous, very generous. Now you're helping Gerald. You're helping the Gerald Help Me Fund with that. That's really where it goes. But with that, I want to thank everyone for being here on Nightcap. I know it's been a long night, and usually it's a long night. I'm not expecting a huge crowd. At least not right now on this show. It's more of just, if you guys wanted to get a little extra, just
you were asking for it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm here to oblige, but I want to thank you all.
Sunday is going to be earlier.
Yeah, it will be earlier. Yes, thank Thank you. Be easier for you guys to get to work the next day. But the beautiful thing about the show is you can watch it after. I know it's more fun live, but you can still watch it after. And if you guys have any comments, any questions, once we get off air, of course, you can reach us at LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Usually Gerald gets that email and he'll forward it to me. If you have any special requests on Sunday, we can go ahead and start talking about that now. Until then, again, thank you, Gerald, for being on here tonight. Cool Bro, Deviant, Sheed. I don't know where the hell Intel was. He was supposed to be here having a couple of shots. I guess he heard I'm not drinking, so he decided not to show.
Kurt Affair.
For everyone, Kurt Affair, everyone, whoever else is lurking in there that hasn't said anything, thank you for being here. Bloodhound as well. Thank you for being here tonight. We will see you on Darren. Everyone, I'm going to miss everybody. I feel like I'm doing an acceptance speech.
Well, that one time Sean got tagged because he forgot to give a shout out to one person, and that one person let him have it the next day.
Well, thank everyone that's here. I can't read all the names. This thing stops at like 7 lists. But we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you for being here tonight. Be safe. Sleep well. Cool Bro. Watch something positive before you go to bed. Actually, I would recommend not watching TV for at least an hour before you go to bed. There's something about the light with it that messes up your sleep, especially at 15 years old. So I would recommend don't watch anything. Just go to sleep. With that, have a good night. And till next time, I'll see you next time.